Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-130 PM. It's a Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer, premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Halluf and it's under the command of me. Yes, it's one of my replays. Yep, I'm in the Soviet tank destroyer that most people got for free when they completed the marathon. Game on. Well, Tier 8 battle, Tier 8 tank destroyer. Looks like the FV-207's moving off this direction as well to find a firing position. I'm going to go up onto a fairly well-known spot. There's a bush and a tree, and you can shoot at the enemy tanks if they come down into the valley. And, well, a T-92 has already made it into the valley. And I'm actually going into a rather exposed spot down here, as you can see. Enemy tank, Brask, put a round into him, 559. That's the high roll. The 13cm gun will do 520 alpha and penetrates up to 243mm of armour, and it will also do 320mm with the heat rounds. Well, I got my first shot into that Barask. I'm now looking to see if I can get a shot into that T-92. Saw his outline briefly, so he's obviously poking that ridge line just to see what's going on. Okay, I'm a bit lagging him at the moment. There's the ELC. He stopped and he's dead. Yep, if you get tracked and you're in the centre, tank destroyer will take you out. So I've got my first kill. And I've reloaded and moved up. Reload time is 11 seconds. I can just make out the T-92 in that direction, but I lost sight of the outline, so I wonder if he pulled back or if he took that shot. I fired that one through the tower thinking, would it go out the other side and hit him? I'm not the only tank destroyer that's firing in that direction, actually. We've got a Borsig alongside me who's doing the same. Somewhere in there. I thought I'll just try a shot just in case. And the ELC M90 is moving up, so maybe he'd be able to spot exactly where that guy went. Don't want to fire too many rounds though, because you don't have a whole lot of ammunition in the SU-130 PM. They are big shells. It's also one of the few tank destroyers that actually has a limitation on its field of fire, mainly because you cannot pivot the gun all the way round. There's the Borsig moving up. It's getting a bit close. I'm going to move up as well to these bushes. It's a bit risky, but it's worth it if we can see the other side of the valley. The ELC's moving up to see if he can find out where they are. He still hasn't found the T-92, and it looks like fire is coming in on him from behind him. He didn't find anyone above the ridge line. Let's give it another go. Oh, he just took a round from somebody. 233, that's... Well, he's running away. He didn't like that. The enemy T-92 is no longer in that direction. I thought that there might be a tank destroyer sitting in the bushes. A Striv. So I fired one in. Didn't get spotted. So whoever's over there hasn't got the view range to see me. And I can see what's actually happened over on the mini-map. The northwest corner's fallen. And the enemy's now starting to charge towards our cap area. And I'm thinking, how am I going to defend against these guys? And I think what I'll try and do is catch them in the crossfire. Because there's a Progetto holding one corner. And I move up and see if I can hit these guys. Track the T-26E5, but I was spotted. I was hoping that I might get that round into his engine bay, but it actually just tracked him instead. Oh! Now that was a near miss from the M40, M43, who spotted where I was. Thought I'll have that one. The SU-130 PM does not have much in the way of armour. In fact, very little armour indeed, which makes it very vulnerable. That TS5's got a lot of armour, and that makes him bold. And I fired one in, but it didn't penetrate. It didn't get the right angle. I should have let him come on just a little bit more before I fired. But he has taken some damage, and that's forced him to pull back. There's a whole bunch of enemy tanks just gathered around those rocks. A CS-53, T-26E5, the Indian Panzer, and the TS-5. That's 1/3 of their enemy team. Okay, TS-5's gone. That's good. CS-53. The T-26E5's probably just around the corner in that cul-de-sac. Okay, just waiting for somebody to appear. Thank you very much. I'll have that. 525, which is a low roll. I now know where the T-26 is. He's just around the corner. He's actually behind the cul-de-sac, not in it. And we've got an Indian Panzer moving up. Oh, I took a round. I actually raised one side and lost my gun depression. And that's why I took the round from the CS. But I put one into the Indian Panzer and finish him off. Okay, where's that T-26? Okay, he's around the other side of the rock. So I've got nobody this side. So I've got 2 kills now. Oh, IS-6 doesn't know I'm here. He does now. That's a high roll. 577. 2.3k now. He's backing away. That's the end of him. 3 kills now. Okay, well, I think we're getting a bit more bold now. We're 1 tack up on the enemy. And I think we're now in a position where we can start pushing on the enemy and taking out any of the guys who are actually trying to kill us. Now, I'm pretty sure that over that ridgeline we'll see the T-26E5, but I'm going to go around to the next opening, not this one. Because if I came over that opening and he wasn't there, I'd have to drive round anyway. Progetto's gone into the northwest corner. And there's the E5. One into the engine bay, 470. I took a round from a Progetto in the tracks. He's obviously further off down the valley. He's last shown near the rock face, and oh, that was enemy Arty trying to get me, but just fired a bit too long. I'm not going to push it and try and get that Progetto. The E5 died to our Progettos, so he's out the game. I've got now just under 3k of damage. We lost our Progetto, I'm afraid, so he's out the game. It's 11 versus 9, so yes, so 4 enemies left. Two Arty, a tank destroyer, and the medium. The medium's the Progetto, who's in the valley. The Striv is the tank destroyer. Now this is a fairly slow tank destroyer. As you can see, my top speed is 65 kilometers an hour. 20 kilometers an hour backwards, but it's not very maneuverable. It doesn't really have a good traverse, and coupled with the fact that you can't turn the gun all the way around does make it vulnerable if you face an enemy in the open and there's no way you can back up against the rock. So I'm thinking the enemy RT are going to be at the back of this area here, and I'm going to try and sneak up on them and catch them unawares. They're not where I would expect them to be so far. If the enemy's over by the ridgeline, and no, the Striv is over on the other side of the map, and there's one of the Arty. It's the M40, M43. I'm skirting the cap so it doesn't alert him to where I am. He knows he's been seen. He's out the game. So I've now got 4 kills. Where's the other Arty? Is he up there? Oh, he's behind me! He's behind me! And of course I have to turn the vehicle around because I can't get the gun to bear otherwise. There's the Lorraine, and my teammates in the other Arties have... I auto-aimed on and had to cancel that and raise the aim to get the shot into the gun shield, and there's my Pascucci's. 5 kills. So there's only 2 enemies left, the Striv and the Progetto. And oh my gum, here comes the Progetto. I put one into him, 545, but I'm in the open. This thing maneuvers like a pig, and yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm relying on my Arty to do some damage, but the Progetto's got me by the ass, and that's the end of me. So just under 4k of damage. I really should have stayed close to a rock where I could have backed up against the rock and forced him to face my gun. But now it's down to the Wizzy1201 GFT on our team. And of course our Arty needs to kill the Striv S1. And they're busily trying to get the Progetto at the moment, who's suddenly disappeared from sight. Now I do apologise that I've stuck with my wreck for a little while longer. And the Striv is moving in on the Arty, but the M43's come out of his hiding place and he's now driving straight towards, and he shotguns the Striv. So it's now 4 versus 1, that Progetto and the Wizzy120, who he is. Now maybe he'll do it a little bit better than I would. Stay close to that rock, there's my wreck. And make sure that that Progetto can't back him into a corner or get behind him so he can't traverse and get the kill. Here he is, there's the Progetto. This tank destroyer, based on the Type 59, does maneuver a lot faster than the SU-130 PM. Oh, the Progetto's running away! Big mistake! Big mistake! All the Wizzy120 needs to do is get into position, get a long range shot on him, and that's the end of the game. Don't know why he drove up the rock there, but he accidentally gave the game away to the Wizzy120. So I didn't survive the game, but I had a good one. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's only a first-class tanker, I'm afraid, but it's the first time I've had a first-class tanker in the SU-130 PM on this account. I managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. I got 5, just 1 short of getting a top gun. I got a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, and a master gunner for getting 5 armor-penetrating shots in a row, and a 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of my own vehicle. I got a Pascucci's medal for killing 2 enemy Arty, and I got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. My win 8 was 6,936 from that one, which is Super Unicum standard. But let's have a look at the team score and see how else it panned out. Just under 4k, 3,925 hit points of damage. The next high scorer being the Borsig, who got 2,520, and then the Striv S1 on the enemy team with 2,346. Now he got taken down by a marauding M40 who drove towards the guy and shotgunned him to get him out the game that way. The FV207 got a Confederate out that game as well. When it came to kills, I had the highest number with 5, 1/3 of the enemy team. 4 kills went to the Progetto, and that included me, and 3 kills went to our Progetto as well. When it came to base XP, it was, yes, it was mine again. So I've got the top in all 3 columns. 1,241 base to me, which is not enough for an ace. It's only enough for a first class. 816 for the Progetto, 775 for the Borsig. I fired 16 rounds in that game, got 12 direct hits, 10 penetrations, damage of 3,925 hit points, of which 2,077 were at more than 300 meters, so a lot of long range shooting. 5 hits received, 4 of them penetrated. Yeah, there's no armor on this vehicle. It really cannot defend itself, and if it gets caught in the open, it's basically a dead duck. 1 non-penetrating shot. I was very lucky with that non-penetrating shot hitting and not doing any damage. 1 hit received by way of splash damage. Enemy Arty did get a near miss on me, but it was only a few hit points. It wasn't a lot. And 2 enemy vehicles spotted. Both the Arty, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and 751 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, I earned 116,250 credits from that one, and from personal reserves I got 58,125, so the grand total was 174,375 credits. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and the ammo is fairly cheap actually, I still came away with a profit of 147,800 835 credits. So this is a good tank destroyer if you want to earn credits, because it can do a lot of damage, and it also is fairly low profile, difficult to see, but if you play it right, you can earn a fortune in it with the personal reserves. I got 30 bombs from that game, and 1,861 XP, 13,034 for completing the mission and events, 186 for personal reserve bonus, and premium vehicle from 186, 1,861 from personal reserve bonus, and took away 16,943 experience points altogether. I said this must be my lucky map because I had 2 games in the SU-130 PM, which were both on Halluf. One ended up in a high caliber, the other one ended up with a high caliber and Pascucci. So I am kind of getting the hang of the SU-130 PM on Halluf. On other maps I'm not so successful. Well, sometimes I am, but it is a good tank destroyer. I would recommend this one to have in your inventory because it can do a lot of damage. It's a bit like the Scorpion G. They're both tank destroyers which generate vast sums of profit because the sheer alpha level of the shells. The Scorpion will do 490 alpha, this one will do 530 alpha, so you're actually going to generate a lot of damage on the enemy with every shot you do, and that means more credits to earn. And from a game like this, yes, it's very nice being able to take away 147,000 credits from just one game that lasted, what was it, 9 minutes long, or well, 9 minutes for me, 11 minutes long overall, but that's pretty good compared to a frontline game. So yes, if you've got one of these, do practice in it because it is one of those tanks that's going to generate you a lot of credits to buy whatever else you need in the tech trees. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel please, and thanks for watching.